But guys, we gotta get into the review. Now, I'm saying this, and I think everyone has seen this film, but how many of you guys have seen The Predator? Oh, Gary Eakin, I see that. Iron Laser, thank you for the host, guys. Good, welcome, Iron Laser. Hope you're doing well today. But how many of you have seen, not The Predator, I shouldn't say The Predator. That's a whole nother Predator movie. No. Just Predator. How many of you have seen Predator? Yeah, man, Strange too many times. Iron Laser, I've seen a Predator. Not, yes, I stand corrected. You're right. I can't say The Predator anymore, just Predator. Tons of times. So I think everyone has seen the film. Slowpoke Felitos, welcome to stream. It's been so long. It's been since yesterday or the day before. Feels like a year, Slowpoke Felitos. No, welcome to stream. But, yeah, guys, as I told you at the top, I am a huge fan of the original Predator film. I grew up watching this. I saw it around the same time that I was obsessively watching so many other, like, sci-fi horror and sci-fi action films. And this one was one of my absolute favorites. Probably my... I mean, if I was in, like just consider like an action film, it might be in my... It probably is my top 5 action films of all time. I absolutely adore it. I love it for its over-the-top action, for its the threat itself, the creature itself, chat, and that score. Oh, that score is perfect. And I think that, honestly, it's probably one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best movies. It's like, it probably might be my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, chat. I know a lot of people hold, T2 up there, and I like Terminator 2 a lot, but I think Predator might be my favorite Schwarzenegger movie, because just for the plethora of one-liners alone, chat. There are so many. There's at least, I'm going to say at least 10 or 12 lines that you could just say it. People instantly know what movie you're referencing. That is iconic. It is all, and it forever shall be, chat, part of the pop culture zeitgeist. This movie has been in existence for 33 years, and it's going to be in existence in the pop culture zeitgeist for 33 more years after that. It had a huge effect, I think, on filmmaking and just kind of sci-fi action films, and how you could see that was carried on into so many other future movies that even explored with either the same genre, the sci-fi action subgenre, or just other action films or other sci-fi films in the future. And The Predator just became just as recognizable as a horror icon as something like Alien, where they would actually have them fight. Not maybe, wasn't great, but at the same time, that shows how impressive the film is and the cultural impact that it had. Now, for those of you who might not know, it's kind of crazy to think about this, but when the movie came out, again, it was a huge box office success. It did very well for its time, almost $100 million worldwide, a budget about 18 million. Critically maligned, got very mixed to negative reviews, but of course, over time, people had a second opinion, and now it's considered to be like one of the greatest action sci-fi films of all time. When this is a movie, the original idea for this movie, chat, it was just, I think it was between either Joe McTiernan or perhaps James Cameron, but the inciting conversation about this film, and it's like these things have very little to do with each other, but it's like, okay, that's where the essence of it came from, is that it was a conversation over, okay, who could Rocky possibly fight next? And I think someone had said, Rocky still hasn't fought E.T. yet. And that was the inciting incident. Fucking Rocky versus E.T. And that's how we got the Predator, chat. It's ridiculous. And, the whole Predator creature design, the mandibles and things, and how it was, a very large creature. The original design of it looked like a giant insect monster with, a deer-esque head. And the person playing it, originally, who was on set for a total of 2 days, chat, 48 hours, was Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was wearing this goddamn suit, and he was so fed up with the production that he quit, and then they brought in, I believe it was Stan Winston, chat. Andy Mauger would be very mad at me that I said his name incorrectly. He came in, totally redid the design of the creature, him and his team, and that's what we had today. One of the most iconic action sci-fi monsters of all time. But it's just so weird how the origins of this film and how it all had all these twists and turns throughout till we finally got the product that we got. It's pretty cool. But guys, we gotta get in the spoilers now. And this film opens up very quietly, because we're just in outer space, chat. People say it's it's an action film, but it's actually a sci-fi film too. And we're in the great unknown right now, chat. And we just see this little spaceship zipping by. It's like, where's that spaceship going? and we see it's passing by Earth, chat, and there's a little pod that disconnects, that ejects from the spaceship, and it's heading down towards Earth, and you got that, you got the score playing and everything. It's like, some ominous is about to happen. That doesn't look too good. And after that, chat, we cut to this beautiful tropical coast, and we got a helicopter coming in. And it's landing. We got this big tough general guy. I don't know what his name is. We're gonna call him General McBragg. He just looked like a McBragg to me. He seems a little concerned about the situation, but he's happy that helicopter's landing. So that helicopter lands, and chat, the doors open, and what do we see? The most muscle-bound, burliest men in the world, chat. I mean, these guys just rippling pecs. I mean, just muscles. Sweating. They're always sweaty. Even when they're not moving, just sweat is just dripping down their brows and faces, chat. It's like, ooh, chat, I don't care. You could be straight, you could be gay. Like, these men are man's men. I'm all about it. And each one is disembarking, chat, but who's the last one off that thing? Who's the one that's just sitting back there smoking a big old cigar, chat, chomping on it? Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's who we're introduced to. He plays Dutch chap, but we're just going to call him Arnold for the sake of convenience. We're introduced to a lot of members of the team. We got, who do we have? We have Blaine, Jesse Ventura. He's the one that's rocking the minigun, chat. He's always chewing on the tobacco. We also have Bill Duke as Mac. He is best friends with Blaine. That's pretty much the extent of their relationship, extent of his character. He freaks out if anything happens to Blaine. Like, let's make sure nothing happens to Blaine or fucking Mac is going to lose his mind. We also got Billy, who plays the stereotypical Navajo Native American tracker, chat. He just has the sense. He can track any animal, any man out there, but what if they're dealing with something that's not a man, chat? Billy's abilities will be put to the test, chat. We also have Poncho. He's there. He's kind of, I get the sense he's kind of like Arnold's number 2 guy, because Arnold's always telling him, hey, you go ahead, you lead the men. It's like he's grooming Poncho to be his successor, chat. That's what I always got while watching this movie. We have, who else do we have? We have Hawkins, chat, and that is, I always forget the guy's name. We know who Hawkins is. He's the nerd. It's Shane Black, chat, who, funny enough, didn't he write the script of this film? Let me see. No, he didn't. He wrote the script to Lethal Weapon, and he would later on, chat, be writing and directing The Predator, which, terrible. So it's funny how he was in this original film. I think he was a script supervisor for this movie. He helped Joe McTiernan with the material. But yeah, like over 30 years later, chat, he would direct the 4th film in the franchise, and yeesh, no, it's not very good. And then, of course, we got Duke. We got Arnold. And he's getting off that helicopter, chat, and he's going to go see General McBragg. That's who he has to go talk to. And so he starts out there. McBragg's like, hey, listen, we're glad you're here, Arnold. We're glad your team's here. We have this dignitary who got lost in the jungle here. I think there's somewhere in Central America, chat. I don't remember which. Yeah, he did some uncredited run. That's it. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Yasmin, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. But he eventually directed the terrible film. And so General McBragg, he's showing him this map. He's saying, yeah, one of our diplomats, they got lost in the jungle. And Arnold's like, why'd you send the diplomat off in the jungle into enemy territory? And the general goes, they flew off course. Arnold's like, I think you're lying. But then, chat, he's asking, so why do you need us? Why don't you just send in the regular army, the Marines and stuff? And you hear in the background, chat, because some dumbass told him that you were the best at what you do. And who do we have, chat? It's Carl Weathers. It's Apollo himself. And Arnold's like, oh my God, Dylan. But it's Carl Weathers, chat. And then they just walk up to each other. It's like, are they about to smooch, chat? Like, they were so happy to see each other. It was like 2 dogs who hadn't seen each other in so long, and their tails are just wagging the entire time. Like, are they going to smooch? But they don't smooch, chat. They do something even better. They just clasp fucking forearms and hands, and we get the ultimate just, I don't even, like, high five, like, bro moment, and just these rippling, it is the ebony and ivory moment, chat. Just combine the best of both worlds, and you see just the rippling muscles, and there's always, everyone's sweaty. There's sweat, and they get in a little arm wrestle, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, I'm much stronger than you. And he's like, oh, Carlos like, please, my hand. And it's like, what are you doing, you big lug? And they give each other a big hug, chat, and they come over and they talk to General McBragg, and he's like, well, yeah, Carl Weathers, he had you come in here. He told you that you're the best at what you do, and we're gonna love having you along with this operation. He's like, what do you mean we? And Carl Weathers goes, well, I'm gonna come with you. And then, chat, you start to see the conflict already starting. Because Arnold's like, listen, I like you, Carl Weathers, but it's been a while since I seen you, okay? You know, at the CIA, you've been busy pushing all those pencils the entire time. I can tell that you're weak because I was beating you in that arm wrestler right now. I mean, you're looking tough, but not where you used to be. And Carl is like, I want to come with you. And Arnold's like, my team and I work alone. And you already see the conflict growing. Because Carl Weathers and Arnold, they just fucking stare at each other at this point and, like, never break eye contact. So you could see that there's tension. And General McBragg's like, listen, he's going to monitor the operation. We'd appreciate if you allow him to come. And Arnold's like, whatever. And so, chat, we cut, and everybody's in the helicopter. Apparently it's going to be a 24-hour operation. Got to rescue these hostages from this, from these guerrillas. You know, it'll be easy peasy. So they're flying out there, chat. We're getting to know everybody. Again, we hear many of an iconic line here, chat. You know, we have Jesse Venturi's offering everyone some tobacco. You know, it's like, we don't want mouth cancer in 2 years, so no thank you. And he's mad at them, chat. He's like, this stuff will make you a sexual tyrannosaurus. And people are like, yeah, it'll also give you lack of a chin, too. Anyway, but, so you get a sense, like, everyone's on a similar page. Everyone likes each other, chat. Like, they give each other shit, but you can tell that this is a nice family unit. They've been through many operations, yet we see hints that Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's done stuff in Afghanistan. He's done stuff in Cambodia. He's fought in Vietnam with Carl Weathers. And Carl Weathers, he actually brings that up. He's like, hey, guys, look at this. I used to be a friend of Arnold, too. He's like, we fought 1971 in Vietnam. And Jesse Ventura's like, I don't give a shit, and spits some tobacco on Carl Weathers' boot. And it's like, that girl was like, that's very rude. He's like, that's a very bad habit, Jesse Ventura. And Jesse Ventura, he just smiles. He doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to be fine. Don't even worry about it. I can talk shit all I want. And then, chat, they get the go-ahead to land the helicopter. Or no, not to jump from the helicopter. And so they all propel down some ropes, and they start doing their soldiering, chat. They got to go to the location where they believe the crash chopper is. And so they eventually find the crash chopper, and you got Pancho. He throws a grappling hook up there, and he climbs up there pretty fast. He's like, oh, clearly this guy knows what he's doing. But then, chat, you get, this is a funny scene, you get fucking Carl Weathers, who tries to climb up it, and you can tell Carl Weathers is so big in this movie. He's bigger in this movie than I think he is in Rocky, and he can barely lift himself up there. He's like the chubby kid in Jim who's like, listen, I don't want to climb this fucking rope, and he just can't do it. It's too much, and they just cut away. I was like, it's too much for him. It's some Ghost Recon shit. That's exactly what it is, Relentless Venture. Oh, Andy, I knew you'd stop. I mentioned your boy Stan Winston, Andy. That's what I did. So, the veins, the rippling, the pulsating veins just pumping all that blood and steroid throughout that body and through that heart. Absolutely Sam the Man's. And so they come up there and we see this helicopter. This helicopter got taken out by some advanced technology, chat. And there's like no bodies but a whole mess of blood. And Carl Weathers is like, you go ahead and chat. I can't lift myself. And so Pancho, he goes back down and he tells Arnold, it's like, hey, so that was definitely the Diplomat's helicopter, but it was taken out by something very advanced. This isn't any like ordinary like a motor fire or something like that. Now this was or anti-artillery fire. This was something I've never seen before. I was like, that sounds weird. And he's like, he asked Carl Weathers, like, what kind of guerrillas have that kind of technology? And Carl Weathers is like, I don't know. I guess they're always getting better tech. You know, they're always getting something new the next day. And Arnold's like, I think you're full of shit, Carl Weathers, but I can't say just yet. I need a couple more reasons to say you're full of shit. And so he's like, okay, Billy, what do you got to report? And Billy says, yeah, apparently there was a firefight of some kind, and there was about like 12 soldiers here, American soldiers, and I don't know where the hell they went. And apparently they went off in this direction, some from the helicopter and some from another squad. And Arnold goes, this is fucking weird. What are other American soldiers doing here? You said we're the first time that any type of American soldiers have been here, Carl Weathers. Carl was like, I don't know, man. And they're like, all right, fucking Billy, you go ahead and take point and track those footsteps. And so Billy, he's tracking those footsteps, chat, and he comes upon a scene which Billy does not want to see. He parts all these vines. He's getting spooked, chat. He's getting a little spooked. He pulls all this shrubbery and vines, and what does he see? Skinless dead bodies, chat. All their tummies are hanging out. This freaks Billy. He's like, this freaks Billy out, chat. And he runs out of there, and he's like, here's skinless dead people. And they're like, oh, shit. And they go over there, chat. And in the entrails, they find some dog tags. Jim Hopper. And apparently Jim Hopper, he was one of the Army guys that used to work for Carl Weathers. And goddamn, Arnold's like, Carl Weathers? What the hell was Jim Hopper doing here? I knew him and these men. And Carl was like, I don't know. It's like, Carl Weathers, you are lying so bad. You're a bad liar, Carl Weathers. Come on now. So don't be so villainous already. I like you. And so I'm like, this is very weird. You know, why would gorillas start skinning people? Doesn't make any sense, chat. And so they go ahead and like, all right, we think that this encampment where they possibly have been skinned alive is over in this direction. They start heading out there, chat, but they start hearing some weird shit. Billy, he gets like an odd sense of like something's not right, and we get flashes, chat. We get flashes of this individual or this entity who's seeing them through this infrared vision, chat. It's just picking up their heat signatures. We don't know what it is. Is this the gorillas? Is this the advanced technology that they have? We don't know. We're not told. And so they just go out, chat, and they come upon the encampment. Arnold, he does the whole big army crawl up there, and he's watching through these binoculars to see what's going on. And he sees, like, okay, that's definitely a Marine or an American who's getting the shit kicked out of him by one of these guerrillas, chat. He's like, we should help that guy, but before we can, chat, that guy gets shot in the head. And Arnold's like, fuck, this doesn't look good. And he tells his boys to come on over. He's like, listen, they just killed one of the hostages. We have to systematically take them out. Fucking Blaine, Jesse Ventura, he's all hopped up about this because he wants the Revenga, chat, for seeing those good old boys skinned alive. What does he bring out, chat? Oh, painless. A fucking movable minigun. He rocks for it. He tells Mac and Jesse Ventura, you go around there, you take those people out up there. Billy, Poncho, you take out those guards over there. I'm going to go down there and charge and do a distraction. So Arnold, he fucking waddles down there, chat. He gets behind this car, which I think is like running electricity for the compound. I'm not sure. They kind of got up on these bricks, chat, and they have the motor going and the thing kind of going backwards. So they're pumping water or electricity for... I don't understand what they were doing. But they got that thing moving, chat. And Arnold's like, I have an idea. And he puts an explosive device on this car, chat. He lifts it off the concrete blocks. He just, get that Arnold neck, chat. All the veins and arteries just pumping those steroids and blood. He's all through the brain, chat, and those bug eyes. And he lifts this fucking thing up and he just lets it go. And the whole team's like, what the fuck are you doing, Arnie? You crazy. And it goes forward, chat, right towards the lunchroom where all these guys are eating food. It's a bad way to go. They're enjoying their snacks, chat, and they're about to blow up. One of the gorillas, he tries to hop in there trying to stop him, but it's too late. He presses the button, boom, blows up. All those guys are blown to smithereens, chat, and all hell breaks loose. Fucking Blaine, he's using his goddamn minigun, chat, just eviscerating anyone that comes across him. Poncho and his guys, they're stabbing him and Billy, just stabbing anyone they see, chat. And Arnold's got that big old machine gun just laying into people, not really aiming. No one really aims in this movie. Maybe a couple times, but it's mostly just spreading, like little bursts and like spread fire. There's no like systemic, like actually looking down range and firing. It's like, no, everything from the hip with these guys. And they hit everybody. And they're going throughout this entire compound. And chat, we live in a time where we really like our choreographed action. And we've gotten spoiled that. Stuff like John Wick. More recently, stuff like Extraction. Like, it looks great, but during the 80s, this was a time when action was about big explosions and guys who carried guns and they had big rippling muscles. That's what it was. And this is the pinnacle of that. You know, people say, oh, it's Commando. But this is Commando with, I think, a better sense of a story and a more camaraderie between these group of actors. You really felt like, these guys are a part of a unit and they had chemistry. And that's why I think this is way better than something like Commando. And you have a really cool threat in the Predator. And this, to me, was the ultimate. This was the pinnacle of what the action genre was throughout the 80s, especially the late 80s. Maybe Die Hard is the best one, but certainly Predator's up there too. And they're just going throughout this entire thing, and it's just hip fire and one-liners. Fucking guys are coming up behind Arnold. He's throwing giant machetes and knives into them. Stick around, like all those lines. You have, Blaine, he's trying to get this son of a bitch who's just stuck up there like an Alabama tick. And Poncho is listening, like, hey man, you bleeding? He's like, I ain't got time to bleed. Poncho's like, well, you better fucking duck, because he just shoots off some goddamn propelled grenade shot, blows up that Alabama tick, no problem. Everybody's killing each other. Even people who don't really want to hurt Arnold. Like Arnold's smashing him in the face and shit. Hits this one woman from behind, chat. He's like, ah, shit. That's not good. I'm like, who is she? She's one of the people that was captured by the guerrillas, too. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. And he's like, guys, we were here to actually find hostages, so maybe let's not always shoot from the hip and just do the spread fire thing, because we definitely probably hit one of the hostages. It was like, we definitely did. There's no question. And he's like, guys, let's just look for hostages at this point. And fucking good old Mac, he goes out there and check. And he's like, yeah, the other hostage is dead. I don't think we killed him, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did. But he's dead too. And yeah, the other American we just saw, he's dead. And he's like, listen, Arnold, the dignitary they were supposed to find, he's not American. He's a Russian. And like all this hardware is kind of advanced. It's like it's goddamn AK-47. This is Soviet gear, Arnold. These guys were prepared to do something crazy here. And according to these, things, they were going to move across the border. And Arnold's like, God damn it, Carl Weathers. And then we cut to Carl Weathers, chat. We hit the motherfucking mother load. He's very excited, chat. He's reading all he's like picking up papers and like reading them, but he's not really. He's just like, Carl, we need you to just pick up papers and act like you're excited about it, but just don't read any of it. And he's like, oh my God, yeah, all that. And Arnold's like, hey, I got this one piece of paper you would probably really want to read. Gives the Carl Weathers. Carl's like, oh, I want to read this. But Arnold just picks him up by his fucking neck and slams him against the thing. It's like, this whole operation was bullshit. You lied to us. We weren't here to free hostages. You sent us on an assassination mission. And what did I say at the beginning of the movie? We're not assassins. We're rescue rangers, goddammit. What are you doing? And Carl Weathers is like, listen, you'll do what I'll tell you to do, Arnold. You are an asset, an expendable asset at that. It's like, that's so mean. You could just see the shock on Arnold's face. He's like, expendable. Carl Weathers, my men aren't expendable, and this mission is bullshit. And it's like, and he just leaves. He walks out of the room, chat. So the friendship between Arnold and Carl Weathers, that is done. It's kaput, chat. It's so sad. Watched the movie the first time. He's like, oh, an action film of Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger. This would be great. And now they're enemies, chat. Now they're on opposite sides. Now they're just teamed up for the sake of convenience. It's too bad. And so he walks out there, and he tells good old Shane Black Hawkins, hey, listen, get up there on your little radio thing, your little antenna, your little rubber antenna, and see if there's like any radio chatter out there we gotta be worried about. He says, yep, apparently like a mile, 2 miles away, there's a whole other band of guerrillas who probably will come right this way because they heard all the gunfire or hip firing. It's like, fuck, okay, we gotta get out of here. And Carl Weathers, he's like, but I'm gonna take this girl with us. She might know some information. I was like, listen, you could take her, but she's your responsibility. If she falls behind, let her fall behind. I care about my men. They're not expendable, Carl Weathers, and so they're about to leave, chat. But in the jungle itself, chat, we see the individual again. He's got the infrared scanner, and he's just watching all these sons of bitches arguing and everything. He saw all the hip firing that was going on, all the spread fire and everything. He's like, okay, I got my eye on these guys. And he's observing right now, particularly Carl Weathers and Mac. And Mac, he sees Carl Weathers trying to lead this girl on. He's like, hey, Carl Weathers, come over here. Oh, by the way, we have that whole scene where Carl Weathers, like, he hasn't done this for a long time. And he kind of, like, trips a little bit and knocks over some logs and shit. He causes a big old ruckus. And Mac comes over there and he's like, listen, motherfucker, I will bleed you slow if you fucking ghost us like this. So shut the fuck up. Keep quiet and keep moving. And Carl Weathers is like, he's about to say something, chat, but Mac already disappeared. Bill Duke already got the hell out of there. And so all you can already tell there's some tension between Mac and Carl Weathers at this point. And Mac, he's like, come over here. Carl Weathers, come over here. And Carl Weathers is like, oh, what's he going to say now? He goes over there and he's like, turn around. And then we cut to the forest, chat, the jungle, and this thing is listening to him. And it's trying to translate what the language is. It's trying to get on the right frequency. It's very interesting. It's a cool kind of dynamic. And then Carl Weathers, he turns around, chat, and then Mac brings out the big knife. Oh my God, he's about to stab Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers like, oh! But he didn't stab him, chat. It was a scorpion. It was a little scorpion crawling up his back, and Mac went ahead and stabbed and got off it. And Carl Weathers is like, thanks! And he walks away. It was very aggressive thanks, too. And Mac's like, anytime. And he crushes the scorpion, chat, and everyone, they start moving off. Shane Black, he says like a lot of weird sexualized jokes in this movie. Like one time, he's always trying to get Billy, the Navajo tracker, to laugh. I think at one time. I forgot what the original joke was, but the joke here is him talking about how, hey Billy, I was going down on my girlfriend last night, and I said, God damn, you have a big pussy. God damn, you have a big pussy. And she goes, why'd you say it twice? And he's like, I didn't, because she's got a big pussy. And Billy's like, it's because of the echo. And Billy's, what the fuck was that? And he sees something out there, chat. His Navajo tracking stereotypical instincts, they're kicking in. He's like, there's something out there, and I don't like it. And but he eventually turns around, he goes off, and then the fucking thing, chat, which we will find out to be the Predator, it jumps down, now those motherfuckers are gone. I'm going to go ahead and work on my auto-tune effects right here, trying to get all this dialogue right, match their vocals, chat, because he uses this stuff against them. He has the specific audio frequency so he can trick his prey to come closer, and he stabs him in the tum-tum. That's what he does. And so he for whatever reason, he's like, I want to go touch that scorpion that guy was playing with. And so he goes over there, chat, and he's like, ooh, and he picks it up, and he looks at it, and we see, oh, it's an alien hand. It's the first time we realize that the Predator is, in fact, an alien. It's the thing that probably came from the spaceship in the beginning of the movie. What crazy shit are we getting into, chat? And so we cut then to the jungle itself, and they're out there walking. And, you know, of course, the girl, she's a bit of an issue for Carl Weathers, and she falls down. Carl Weathers is like, God damn it, girl, quit sandbagging and get up, get your ass up. And, of course, she's not going to get up, chat. Carl Weathers is like, come on. And she does the thing that throws Carl Weathers for a loop, chat. We didn't know what Carl Weathers' weakness is at this point, but she finds out what it is. And she throws leaves in his face, and he goes, ah! The leaves! He doesn't like the leaves, chat. That totally throws him off. He fucking falls down. He can't take the leaves, chat. And so, she runs off, but before she can, we get fucking Poncho over, and she's like, don't move or I will shoot you, and she stops moving. And he's like, Carl Weathers, work on your leaf weakness, okay? That's some weird shit. And so then they pick up, and they keep moving on. Eventually, Billy, because he's kind of the tracker, he's the one who has that fucking, you know, Navajo, Native American sixth sense. He knows when something's off. He's going the direction where they need to go to, because now they got to get on the choppers, chat. But the choppers, like, it's too hot right there. You got to keep going this specific way, a couple miles that way. And they're like, okay, we'll get there. And so Billy, he's taking him the direction they need to go in, but then he just fucking stops, chat. And everyone's like, they're stopping too. Like, what the fuck is wrong with Billy? And everyone's like, he's just been a little squirrely this morning. Like, something's got his Native American sixth sense. His Native American sense is going off. It's haywire. And Arnold, he goes down there's like, Billy, what the hell's going on? And Billy's like, not even looking at him. And Arnold's like, he grabs Billy, and Billy's like, don't touch me! And he's like, I see it. It's in the trees. And then we just cut, chat. And Arnold's like, what the fuck are you looking at? I see trees and shrubs and shit. And Billy's like, it was nothing. And so they just continue going off, chat, but it's something, because we fucking cut to, I love this too, because they're talking, and Billy's staring directly at the Predator, and the Predator's like, can these motherfuckers see me? Oh shit, he's got that Native American sixth sense I've heard about, god damn it. Well, maybe if I just don't move, I'll be okay. But fucking Billy's, he's got an exact bead on where the Predator is. The Predator's like, fuck, I didn't anticipate this, interesting. And so, but eventually they go off, they start walking, but before they can, Carl Weathers, he tells Poncho, it's like, listen, I'm going to go down there because I want to be a part of the group. You watch the girl, and because I want to see what Arnold and Billy are talking about. And so Poncho's watching her, and the girl, she uses her Fenneman Wiles, chat. Her girl magic. She uses her girl magic, and she tricks Poncho with like a smile, apparently. He says, oh, pretty girl. And she fucking whacks the shit out of him and right in the face of a big old stick, and she just fucking takes off. And Shane Black's like, I'll get her. He runs after her, chat. He's right behind her trying to get up. Of course, right behind him is the fucking Predator. He's like, oh, easy fucking target. I'm gonna go for him now. He's separated from the herd, and he gets up to her. He's like, what are you doing? Just stop. And the girl's like, what the fuck is that behind you? And he turns around, and we see this weird, like not really, like camouflage thing, like invisible thing, but you could tell that it's being manipulated by the light, like lights passing through it. And you know, Hawkins like, what the fuck? And this thing just comes up to him, chat, and rips his stomach out and drags him into the jungle. And the girl's like, what the fuck did I just see? And everyone runs up there, chat. Poncho's there. He's like, where the fuck happened? Where's Hawkins? Where's Shane Black? She's like, I don't know. And everyone goes up there, chat. Poncho, he follows this trail of blood, and he comes to this tree trunk, and all it is guts and intestines. All of Hawkins Shane Black's insides are on the outside now, chat. And Arnold, he's like, what the hell? Well, Poncho, where's Hawkins? Where is he? And he comes back, man, and he's like, I think I found him, but I'm not sure. Arnold's like, what the fuck? And they go there, chat, and they see all the insides, and they're like, okay, all right, let's talk to the girl. What does she know? And so they start talking to her, chat, and she's saying the same thing over and over again. And Poncho's like, she keeps saying that the jungle came alive and took him. And Carl Weathers says, no, that's bullshit. She's not saying that at all. But he doesn't say what he thinks she's saying. It's like a little bit of translation would have helped Carl Weathers, but he doesn't say. And so he's like, all right, whatever the fuck this is. All right, goddamn, do like a 50 feet search right now. You go out in either direction. Let's find Hawkins's body. And so everyone goes out in either direction. Chat, nice little sweep. And now we're following Blaine, Jesse Ventura, and he's pissed off because he's almost out of tobacco, chat. He hasn't been able to use old Painless as much as he wanted to. He's out there searching, and he's like, I see something over there. It's like he sees some rustling, chat. Well, I'm gonna use my big old goddamn minigun. He fires that thing off. It's just like a little badger, chat. He's like, it's a fucking badger. And then this giant plasma bolt hits his side. He's like, ow! Hits him, chat. He gets a little stunned. And then from behind him, chat, another plasma bolt bursts open his chest, and he falls to the ground dead. Tiberius Monk, thank you so much for the subscription. Oh, to T-Sweet. Oh, a gifted sub to T-Sweet. Thank you so much, Tiberius Monk. Appreciate that. Here's to you guys. Hope you're enjoying the review so far. May the wings of liberty and the wings of feather, you are shaking the pillars of heaven tonight. Exactly, Devin. Yeah, he separated the weakest from the herd. Now he's going after the big one, the toughest one, that big old gun. Predator's smart. Predator knows what he's doing. It's very true, Devin. Welcome to the stream, by the way. And so fucking Blaine, Jesse Ventura, dead, chat. And Mac, Bill Duke, his best friends, we all know, is Jesse Ventura. And he just fucking, like, my Jesse Ventura is dead sense is tingling off the fucking wire. He beelines toward Jesse Ventura. And what does he see, chat? A eviscerated Jesse Ventura, and he looks up and he sees the fucking Predator. It's all invisible, and the Predator does like a little fuck you to him, because you could tell like it's in that cloak thing, but the light's all wonky around it, and does this the little glowing eyes, like the yellow glow eyes, like, hey bitch, see you later. And he runs off, and Mac's like, oh fuck you, and he grabs old Painless, chat, or he uses his own gun. He just starts blasting. Everyone's like, what the fuck? They all start running over. And they all start blasting, chat. Just the hip spread fire. Mac, he grabs old Painless, and just shoots it. They just eviscerate this jungle, chat, cutting it all down. Deforestation at its finest. Grenade launchers, RPGs, pistols, gunfire, SM. Every weapon you can imagine is going off right here. Tiberius Monk, thanks for the 300 biddies. Cheers to a great show. Oh, thank you, Tiberius Monk. I appreciate it. And who else was that? Oh, Julian Hummendinger, thank you so much for the host, my friend. Really do appreciate it. No, guys, again, thank you so much for the support. I'm glad you're enjoying the review. And so they're blasting the shit out of this jungle, chat. It's like, whew, well, they definitely got it. There's no question. And, and Billy, he goes out there, and he's like, we didn't hit shit. We didn't hit anything. Everyone's like, what do you mean we didn't hit anything? And, Arnold's like, Mac, Bill, Mac. And Mac's like, what? I want to kill. And he's like, Mac, what happened? He's like, I saw it. He's like, saw it? What are you talking about? I saw it. I don't know what it was. I just saw it. He killed Blaine, my buddy. And he's all sorry over Blaine. Arnold's like, all right, this is some crazy fucking shit. I've lost 2 guys in the span of 5 minutes. And I heard the first witness is saying that this thing, where the hell it is, it's the jungle coming to life and killing my people. And this guy, he's out of his, he's got that like kind of PTSD, Marlon Brando, like Apocalypse Now look now. So it's like, we got to get the hell out of here. But yeah, they actually did hit it. They didn't notice, because the girl, she wanders on over and she sees this leaf just caked in this glowing kind of like lime green blood, and she's like, I want to touch it. And she just touches it, chat, and she just rubs it on her thigh and shit. And Carlos like, stop touching that, and they leave, and they go off. And I was like, look, you got to get them on the fucking radio and tell them to pick us up right here, right now. We already lost 2 guys. We don't know what the hell's attacking us. It probably is the same people that were skinning my people alive. And so Carl Weathers, he gets on the radio trying to contact HQ. HQ's like, listen, you got to get closer to the LZ than this because you're still in the hot territory, okay? We can't come and get you. And he's like, God damn it. And so Arnold's like, all right, we're going to stay camp for the night. We don't know what the fuck this thing is. Bill Duke, go ahead. Mac, put all the traps you could possibly put around us right now. Like, whatever the fuck this thing is, it is not coming in to get us. And he's like, will do, sir. And then meanwhile, Chad, we cut off to the woods. And this is when we get the first good look at the Predator. Because the Predator, he's got a boo-boo. And he's got to fix himself up. He's taking care of himself, Chad. That proper hygiene, too. So he just sits himself on a tree trunk. He rolls up that little shorts of his, his little loincloth, Chad, because it's on the upper thigh. It's on that upper thigh, Chad. And he's like, oh, I gotta fix this. And he starts getting all these tools out, Chad. And it's like flesh, but it's the glowing green blood that we saw. He's trying to, like, piece it back together and shit. He gets these little clamps. He's like, ooh, the clamps. It's gonna be the worst. And he fucking clamps and he goes, ah! And he just fucking screams, ah! And everyone's like, what the fuck was that? They don't know it's the Predator yet, Chad. They just think it's these crazy gorillas or something with advanced technology. And so, we cut to later that night, and Arnold, he has a moment with Mac, and Mac's like, hey, I'm sorry what happened to Jesse Ventura, and Mac's like, he was my friend. He was my bro. And we have a moment between Mac and Jesse Ventura and the dead body because they always shared this flask together. And he's like, this is your flask now, Jesse Ventura. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question here, guys. Did anyone ever get the sense? I didn't watch it because I've watched this movie a lot of times and I go back and forth. Did anyone get the sense that Mac and Jesse Ventura, were they in a relationship? Like they actually loved each other. It was just like a ultimate bro moment. I don't. Maybe I'm just completely reading it completely wrong. Okay, so absolutely. Okay, no, I don't know. Okay, so I'm wrong. I'm just asking because I was like, okay, is it just they're just really good friends or they're like in a relationship? Okay, I just want to be sure. I'm reading too much into it. It was just like they're just ultimate bros. Okay, I go back and forth. Like the last time I saw it, now it's like, oh no, they're just bros. They're just bros, chat. They're not like in a loving relationship. And Jesse Ventura, he uses a homophobic slur early in the movie, which at the time it's like, oh, anyone can say fag. You can't say that anymore. You can't say that anymore now. And so I was like, oh, maybe that's like, well, only we could say that, but it's not. It's not that similar situation. Okay, I just want to get your sense on it. And so, Mac, he's going fucking crazy, chat, because he just starts talking to the moon at night, thinking that the moon is... I mean, he spends a lot of time thinking about Jesse Ventura in this movie. That's why I'm asking, chat, because he's just staring off into the moon. He's like, remember that time, man, in Cambodia? Whew, that was great, man. That was great. He's just fucking sweating. He's the sweatiest of them all, chat. And when Jesse Ventura dies, it's just dripping off of him. It's like you're just under a shower with Bill Duke right now. And he's just, he's just crying, chat, and he's sweating the whole time. And eventually, he's distracted by something because he hears something crawling towards him. He's like, what the fuck is that? And it sets off one of his traps. He goes, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker! And he wrestles this thing, chat. He brings up the knife, he's stabbing whatever the fuck this thing is. Like multiple, he's just screaming, and everyone's like, what the fuck? And they all start running over to him, and they see the scene, chat. And it's just Mac. He's just killing the shit of a hog, chat, a big old jungle pig. And they're like, it's just a pig, Mac. I'm gonna kill the motherfucker. I don't care. And just swearing so much, chat. And like, don't worry about it. But unless, we gotta go back for the girl. And they run back, chat, because like they all left her alone because they were in such a panic of what this thing might be. So they go back there and she hasn't moved. She's just stayed there the whole time. Arnold's like, okay, if she didn't move, she's actually really scared about what's out there. But then they're like, oh, where's Jesse Ventura's body? The body has disappeared, guys. They're like, what the fuck? This thing took his body, but didn't take any of his weapons. Much like Hawkins. They didn't take Hawkins' weapon or his radio. It's like, all right, this is odd. And so the next morning, Chad's like, okay, we got to get prepared for wherever this thing is. We're gonna lead this thing to us. Or these people to us. And so they start setting up all these traps, Chad. for whatever the hell this thing is, and they put them all together, multiple tripwires, because they thought, like, okay, this thing managed to grab, because they're thinking, this thing managed to grab Jesse Ventura's body and bypass all their traps. It's like, okay, this thing's, whatever the hell this is smart. And so like, okay, we're going to try to make these traps as natural looking as possible, like they fit into the jungle. So they got fucking nets, chat, they got explosives everywhere, and then they're just sitting there, it's like midday and the next day, and they're just waiting. Sitting there waiting, and it's like nothing's happening, and Arnold's like, bait. We need bait. And Arnold's like, we know Arnold's the leader, chat, because I will go out there and be the bait. And he just starts going out there, chat, and everyone's got to beat on Arnold and looking around the jungle. And Arnold, he just steps out there, he passes by all the traps, the net and shit, he's right in front of the net, and he's just staring out there. And then the fucking net just goes up behind him, and you hear this squeal. Everyone's like, what the fuck? And they just, again, no actual aiming. They just do the hip fire. They do the hip fire from up here. Not gonna hit shit. And that thing comes fucking down, chat. And it hits the shit out of Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's all cloaked, too. It's all, weird and shit. Hits it, activates one of the traps, and this big fucking Ewok trap, chat, that they had. I guess they had some Ewok training. Fucking goes on. Oh, it's like those swinging log shit. They had the swinging log Ewok trap, like the ATSTs that smushes their heads. This one swinging log goes ahead and hits Poncho in the chest, caves in his chest, and he's just blasted all the way back, chat. And so they go over. Fucking Mac is losing his goddamn mind. He's like, I'm gonna kill you! And he just runs after this thing. They're like, Mac, get back here! And he's like, I'm gonna kill it! And he's just chasing after the Predator, chat. And Arnold's like, alright, fuck this. We're getting the hell out of here. We gotta get to the LZ as quickly as possible. They help Poncho. He's not looking good, chat. All of his ribs are broken. He can barely breathe. He can barely walk. It's like Arnold does not leave a man behind. He's gonna get Poncho out of here. He's got the girls like, I'm gonna help now. Because I'm very scared, so I'm just going to help you guys. And I was like, hell yeah, let's fucking do it. Billy's like, I'll lead us ahead. And Carl Weathers is like, guys, I'm going to go after Mac. I'm going to do that. And Arnold's like, why? I thought you didn't care about expendable assets. Well, maybe some of you is rubbing off on me, Arnold. And Arnold goes, hell yeah, Carl Weathers. They don't do the hand grab again, chat, but you can see that Arnold had a little more respect for Carl Weathers in that scene. And so they go off, and Carl Weathers, he follows Mac. And now, chat, we're just following Carl Weathers. And he's out there, and he's like, Mac, where the fuck are you? Mac. And then he's going down this little hill, and fucking comes up behind him, chat. It's Mac. And he's like, shh. It's out there. I see you. And they see it. They see the Predator. He's just hanging out in the trees like, whoo! I almost got my ass kicked by those guys. Fucking nets are a Predator's weakness, am I right? And so they're just watching this thing, and then Carl Weathers is like, okay, Mac, I'm watching you. That's what he says. Oh, Troy, thank you so much for the subscription. Back to Carl news for On Brothers. Thank you. Hey, we gotta do another poll. We gotta do another cartoon poll. Thank you again, Troy. Welcome to stream. And so I'm watching. What's the line? I see you. I see you. And so Carlos is like, okay, you go ahead and go in the direction of him. I'm going to circle around and flush him towards you, and you just fucking kill him. And Mac's like, sounds good to me. This is going to be for Jesse Ventura. And so good old Mac, he goes out there, chat. He's crawling under logs and shit. Crawls under this one log, and he sees this like little laser point thing. He's like, what the fuck is that? It's like a three-prong laser point on his arm. And he's like, what the fuck? And it goes all the way across and hits on his head. And he looks up, it's like, oh, it's a fucking Predator. And it blasts his fucking head, chat. Boom! That's it. And you see, a great shot, by the way. I love the gore in this film because you see from behind Bill Duke's head, and it enters his head, and but all you see is the aftermath. There's this huge fucking brainy meat bone explosion, covers the camera and everything. Bill Duke, Mac is dead, chat. He's joining Jesse Ventura and having the friends reunite. Not under the best circumstances, chat, but at least they're reuniting. Bros again in the afterlife. But then, chat, Carl Weathers, he's like, Mac! But he sees Mac, chat. He sees Mac. He's got his head blown open, and he goes, ah, fuck. And he sees the Predator, and the Predator shoots him, chat. Shoots him in the arm. He's like, ah! And then he starts blasting at the Predator. The Predator's like, I'm going to shoot you fucking again. And the Predator shoots him his other arm, chat, severs the other arm that he was shooting with. He's like, ah! And it's his arm, and it's like, because of his nerves, chat, the arm is still shooting on the ground. And the Predator's like, I'm going to get you, motherfucker. And he's just fucking running as fast as he possibly can at Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers is like, hold on, I got to get my other gun. Time out. But before he can, chat, before that timeout was not heard by the Predator, Predator fucking runs up to Carl Weathers with the giant Predator blades in the wrist blades, guts him, chat, lifts him up in the air and goes, ah! And that is the end of Carl Weathers, chat. Carl Weathers, he has been gutted. Mac is dead. And the only humans left are just booking it towards the LZ. Thank you so much, Glee, for the 25 biddies. Oh, looks like you got everything worked out for you. That was pretty, no, yeah. Thankfully, they responded in about 12 hours, so I was very happy about that. I was very concerned, but no. And again, guys, thank you for the support tonight. Seriously, it's amazing. And so now, chat, we're fucking following our survivors, Arnold, Billy, Poncho, and the girl. I don't know the girl's name. She's just the girl. And so they're running off there, chat. And Billy's like, okay, guys, I'm going to be the stereotypical minority sacrifice now. I'm freely going to do it. He's like, you guys just go out in that direction. I'm going to be all ceremonial and shit. So they're like passing on this log bridge, chat. And Billy's just like, I fucking heard Carl Weathers die. I'm the, other than... Wait, listen, as we all know, the white character needs to be the last survivor, so I'm the next one on the chopping block. Bye, everybody. And so he just starts stripping off all his shit, chat. And Arnold's like, Billy, what are you doing? Bill, all right, fuck it. He just fucking leaves. He's like, all right, I can't save everybody at this point. I can't. Yeah, like, you know, T-Sweet, you guys, you know. But I love Arnold's like, he gives like one, Billy, fuck it. And he just keeps on running. I love it. Billy's doing the whole shit. He's being a badass, chat. He's taking off his armor. He's got the ceremony. He's like, and he just starts getting this big old fucking machete. He just starts cutting himself. He just was like, wow, we are about to get a fucking throwdown between the Predator and Billy, who is like this really mysterious, like cool character. He's able to sense all this. He's got that Native American Navajo sense, chat. Like he's gonna be able to see when it's invisible and shit. Like this is gonna be the throwdown for the fucking ages. And so we see the Predator. It's coming up there. It's got the heat vision on Billy, and Billy, he's just like, yeah, let's go. It's just silent shit. And we cut to Arnold, and Arnold hears, ah! And Billy's dead. We never see the climactic bottom. All we hear is just a piercing high scream. And Billy the badass, no. Billy gets his, and Billy dies very quickly. Oh, we'll see Billy again. I just love that moment. It's like, oh, we're gonna get, and it's like, no, it's denied. And they're like, and they turn around like, oh, fuck, if Billy got that's not good. So they all turn around. The girl's like, give me a gun, give me a gun. Arnold's like, no. Clearly, this thing is only attacking people that has weapons, so no. And so they turn around, chat. She's like, kind of like, I don't know what to do. And so now we got Arnold, we got Poncho. And Poncho, he's super fucked up at this point, chat. And they're just pointing their guns. And they're like, what the fuck is it? And then all of a sudden, that fucking plasma bolt hits Poncho right through the side of the head, falls down, instantly dead. He's dead as maybe even before he hit the ground, chat. And Arnold's like, no, Poncho! And then Arnold, he gets hit, and he's like, bah! And we get this, one of the best Arnold, like, yelling anger faces ever. He's just like, ah! Like that. At the tree with the Predators, he's like, oh, shit. And he uses the plasma cannon again to hit Arnold, and it hits Arnold the shoulder. He goes, ah, and he falls down, and we get the line, chat. He's like, go! Get through the chopper! And the girl's like, fuck yeah, I will. And she just beelines it towards the LZ. She's like, fuck this, I am gone. And Arnold, he's just getting up, chat. And this is it. It is now Arnold the Predator time, chat, for the last 20, 25 minutes of the movie. He's like, I gotta fucking get the hell out of here. And he just starts booking, and then it turns into just like, it turns into a protracted chase scene, chat, because he's running to the fucking woods, and then he comes across this hill, and he just starts, fucking falling over it and everything. He goes, oh, shit, because there's a huge precipice, chat, water. And he just falls all the way down in there, gets some really bad B-roll. Apparently, they had the wrong type of camera, film for this, and that's why it looks super, super grainy. It actually wasn't done on purpose. It was a mistake. And so he falls in the water, chat. He's drowning. He can barely swim because his arm's all fucked up. He's tumbling through the water. Eventually, he comes to like this little pond area, and he's like, jeez, he just starts swimming over. He's exhausted. Starts swimming over, chat. Gets to this muddy bank, and you could just say it's like, it's that kind of, and Arnold did a great job here because it's that kind of tired where you don't give a shit where you are. You just want to put your head down. He just like all into this mud, chat. He's like, oh, Jesus, thank God. Whoo, glad that's over. And then a huge fucking splash follows him behind. He's like, oh, what the fuck? Can we get that panic, Arnold? And he just starts going up this mud bank, chat. He's just writhing in the mud, just trying to push himself up as much as possible because his arms are all fucked up. He doesn't know what to do. Until he's like, completely covered in this muck, the feces of the jungle, chat. And he's up there just in these roots and everything. He's like, maybe it won't see me. And the predator just, like a badass, crawls. And then we get like a good glory shot of the predator, chat, just walking up there. And like you see everything, like without its illusion tech and everything. He's just looking around. And his little plasma cannon's also looking around too. And it's like it's trying, and we cut to that predator infrared vision, and we don't see Arnold. And like the predator's looking directly at him. He's like, I don't see the motherfucker. Where is he? And then he sees like a little bit of heat. And he's like, I'm gonna shoot that fucking thing. And he shoots it, chat. It was just another badger, just like Jesse Ventura. The predator's like, God damn it. Well, I killed a whole bunch of other people. I'm gonna go out there and just clean those skulls. I'll see you later, Arnold, wherever you are. And he goes off. Arnold goes, what the fuck was that about? And Arnold realizes, like, it was the mud. It can't see me with the mud on me. And so Arnold goes, okay, I have to get Revenga on this thing for killing my boys. But also, I just got to kill whatever the hell this is. And so we get a protracted scene of Arnold just setting up all these traps, making all these weapons for himself. He makes some spears, puts them in certain areas, chat. He creates, like, a bow for himself, like a really cool, like, damn, like, it's like a super thick bow or whatever with these huge arrows. He has these rocket-propelled grenades of gunpowder. He's like, I'm going to use this gunpowder on this thing, set up little traps for him and shit. Fuck with his technology. He creates these, like, makeshift traps of spikes and shit. Has this whole big old log connected to these spikes. And so it's like, oh, this guy crosses through. He trips that tripwire. He'll get spiked to death. So it's like, it's going to be great. And so we also cut to the Predator. Predator's like, he's just having a good day. Predator's like, man, I've had a productive day. I'm just going to... we get the last scene of Billy checks. And we see what happened to Billy. And Billy's dead. And the Predator is just about to remove Billy's spine and skull. But it's done in the most graphic way possible. Because the Predator just sticks his hand up Billy's ass and just rips the spine and skull out, chat. And he's like, woo! This is great! The best vacation ever! And then he's just, you know... He's just clean off all his skulls, admiring them. He's like, this has been great. Having such a great time. We come back to Arnold. He's like, I am ready, motherfucker. He's caked in the mud, chat. He's got all of his weapons. He did his little gunpowder trap there, too. So when the Predator sees it, he's going to go right towards it. And then Arnold's got this big old torch, throws it, or not, before he throws it in the kindling, chat. In the kindling, Arnold just looks up into the night air and just goes, ah! Just this Tarzan roar, chat, of pure fury. He's like, come for me, motherfucker. Let's do this. Predator's like, I think I will. And the Predator goes right towards Arnold. And Arnold, he's just waiting there. And he's like, when the hell is this guy gonna show up? It's been forever. And he's like, oh, he's right behind me. The Predator's crawling down, like, right next to where Arnold is. Like, mere inches from his body. But he can't see him because he's got the mud. He's caked in all that mud, chat. And so Arnold's like, fuck. And then, like, a whole badass, I'm like, he's like, oh, Jesus. And this thing's going down. Arnold's like, I'm going to swing over there. And he fucking swings over to the next tree, goes, oh. And Predator's like, what the fuck was that? Forget it. Predator goes down to where all the kindling is, chat, on this, like, little bridge thing. He's like, where the fuck is he? Where is he? He was screaming and shit. Where is he? And he's right by the powder keg trap. And so Arnold, he gets his big old bow out. He fires his first bow, hits the powder keg, boom! Predator's like, fuck! Predator's like, ah! And it's like, it messes up his cloaking technology. He's like, oh, man! You son of a bitch. And he just starts blasting chat with his plasma cannon. Like, who the hell did that? We get this one super cool wide shot. It's so awesome. Where you see the Predator on the wooden bridge, and it's just blasting off into the jungle. All these wonderful, like, explosions. And, it's beautiful, chat. I love it. And so, Arnold's like, oh, I'm going to stay here. And so Predator's like, well, I can't use my cloaking technology. And he goes off. And Arnold, it kind of follows Arnold. Because Arnold, thankfully, he still has the mud on him. So he's able to kind of avoid him to a certain extent. It's a game of cat and mouse. Arnold's just he's actually doing guerrilla warfare. I'm going to slowly pick away at him until I lower all his defenses, then go in for the kill. And so eventually he goes over across another bridge. But the Predator's like right behind him. Oh! Witness! Witness me! Nick Diaz, the chat attack. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing so. Thank you for the raid, man. How you doing tonight? Welcome. Oh, chat, I'm thirsty. I'm gonna get another drink after this. No, hope you're doing so well, man. Thank you so much for the raid. As I always say, guys, Nick Diaz, one of the many backbones of the DT community. This guy has helped me out so much. With Double Toasted. Thank you again, Nick. Welcome to the stream. Talking about Predator right now. Almost done with the review. And so, chat, Predator's right behind Arnold, but he's like, I have nowhere to go. Where do I go? And so he holds under, he positions himself like underneath this log bridge that he has, and he has the spears. And so he kind of, he gets up there, chat, and he throws like a fucking spear, the explosive spear at the Predator. Fucking hits the Predator, goes, ow! And then Arnold, he runs off. He's also kind of tracking the Predator. And then he's like, oh, I can see the trail of glowing green blood. And so Arnold's like, I'm going to get this motherfucker. He's got his other spear and shit, chat. He's tracking him down. He sees that he went to this like little cave. And so Arnold, he just goes in that little cave, chat. He's like, the motherfucker's not in it. Oh, shit, because he hears him. The Predator tricked him, chat. It went back and forth. And so the Predator is lowering itself behind Arnold's like, I know what you're doing, you motherfucker. You found a way to cloak yourself, you son of a bitch. I see what's happening here. But he still can't see Arnold. Arnold goes like, there's literally like only one way I can get out of here. It's if I set up another explosive device, which he had. And so he sets it off, chat, explosion. Arnold just gets the fuck out of there. Predator, he starts blasting and shit, chat, with his plasma caster. Arnold jumps into this water to save himself. He just starts swimming on over, chat. He starts swimming on over. And, but then he gets to this bank, but all of his camouflage is washed off. It's all gone, chat. So he's like, fuck. But again, he's exhausted. He's done all those, and those arms are so fucking thick. It takes so much effort to lift those arms, chat, in the water. He gets to the bank. He's like, oh shit, Jesus Christ. Well, at least he can't see me. Oh, he's right there. And that Predator's right above him, chat. And it fucking lifts Arnold up, and it fucking slams him against this big stone wall. And it's like got Arnold in his grip. Arnold's like, oh, it's like the actor who played the Predator's like 7 feet tall, and it's like lifting Arnold up. It's pretty cool. And he's like looking at Arnold. He's like pushing his face around, like, yeah, good Austrian features. And he drops him. He just drops him and kind of walks away a little bit. Arnold's like, what the fuck? And the Predator's like, yeah, well, you don't have any weapons. You fucked up all my weapons. Let's just have a good old-fashioned wrestling match. And then we get the iconic moment, chat. Predator, he's just like, all right, let's just throw down. Let's just put him up and duke it out. He takes off his plasma caster, chat, all his other armor and weapons and shit, and he's about to remove the mask. He takes that mask off. Oh, it's a giant crab man. That's what it is. And Arnold's like, you are one ugly motherfucker. And the Predator goes, I am beautiful, bitch. Ah! Just starts screaming at me. And then they start wrestling, chat. They start punching and duking. And Arnold, like, listen, he gets a couple good jabs in the Predator, but it's not enough. The Predator is far stronger than Arnold Schwarzenegger, chat. I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but the Predator is far stronger. And so Arnold, it's just a war of attrition, because Arnold, like, he gets one in there, but the Predator punches him like 3 times. Arnold's always crawling back to the trap, chat, at this point. He's like, at least the trap's over here. He crawls through this little crevasse, chat, where he set it up. And he's like, oh, Jesus, I feel just broken. He gets over there, chat, and the Predator's like, I'm going to come for you, motherfucker. And also, we see that the Predator, when he takes off the helmet, he sees everything in red. So that's kind of, you can see why he would need that mask, so he can see like an infrared and things. Because he just has like this red. He's got like Daredevil vision almost to a certain extent, chat. Like a red fury Daredevil vision. And so Arnold's like, come on, kill me, come over here, come on. And the Predator's like, I'm gonna get out. What the fuck is? Ow, that's pointy. And the Predator's like, wait a minute, you tried to trick me. I see. Oh, this is good. It's a spike trap. You motherfucker. I'm gonna go around. And Arnold's like, fuck. And the thing comes around, chat. And Arnold's like, God damn it. The Predator's like, he's got the wrist blades out. He's just about to gut Arnold, chat. But Arnold's like, oh, that motherfucker is standing directly under the log. I'm just going to kick that out of the way. And he kicks the little trap off, chat. You know, the spikes go down shit, but so does the log. And Predator goes, fuck. And on the Predator's fucking face, chat. It's smushed. It's dead. And Arnold's like, whoo. I'm going to take a nap now. Holy shit. Oh, that motherfucker's still alive. And it gets back. You can see the log moving, chat. And Arnold, he goes ahead. He grabs this big old rock. He's like, I'm going to kill this motherfucker for good. He stands above the Predator, chat. And Predator's dying. It's choking on its own blood, chat. It's like all its lime green Mountain Dew blood. Oh, the Mountain Dew is leaking out of the Predator. You know, it's like, I'm just going to let you suffer. The Predator's like, fuck you, bitch. Because then he opens up his little wrist computer, chat. He goes up, beep, bop, beep, boop, boop, and it starts counting down. At least we don't know it's counting down at first. The Predator, it just starts laughing at him, chat. And it starts to mimic Billy's laugh that it heard. Arnold's like, that motherfucker just started a bomb. And Arnold goes, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. And he starts running, chat, as fast as he got that Tom Cruise run. Just, and the Predator's just laughing. He's like, I'm going to get you. and then it goes off to this big fucking explosion, mushroom cloud and shit. Did Arnold make it out? We don't know. We cut to a helicopter, and it's with the lady, it's with the girl chat, and General McBragg from the beginning of the review. And they're like, holy fuck, that's a nuclear explosion. And they go over to the mushroom cloud chat, and in the ash, what do they see? Arnold Schwarzenegger, chat. He could survive a predator and a nuclear blast, as we all know. And he's like, I'm in a world of pain. I don't even want to move. I'm just going to stand here right now until you can come get me. And then, chat, we see Arnold, and he's just in the helicopter. He's like, I just want to sleep. I have all the PTSD in the world. Let me sleep. Let's go back home. And that, chat, is Predator. It's an amazing sci-fi action film. If you have not seen it, which I know most of you have, but if you have not seen it, please check it out. It's so much fun. It's to me, it's the pinnacle. It's one of the pillars, I think, of the action genre of the 1980s. It's up there, stuff like Die Hard. I absolutely adored the film. That's true, Andy. That's right. So, the helicopter pilot who is flying in with General McBragg and the girl, that is the same guy who played the Predator in the movie, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's the same guy. Yay! Oh, Dow. Don't worry about it, man, because I'll be reviewing Predator 2 in the future, and Predators, and I believe The Predator, all in the future, because you guys voted for them. Those are coming up. Those are coming up in time. I will be doing Resident Evil Apocalypse tomorrow, but Predator 2, that's on the horizon.